This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. There is a wonderful thing that's been around for many, 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 many years called Reiki, energy healing, where we can move our lives forward with just one simple treatment where you don't have to do anything, like literally nothing. I've done it before. I've had it done before. I'm not a Reiki master. However, I do have one here today. We're going to get a lot of clarity. She helps people holistically move their lives forward all the time. And we're going to talk about this thing called the chakras. I know all these words are kind of, when I first heard them, like, what are they talking about? Chakras? It's almost like an alarming word. Sounds like shock. Spelled differently, though. Let's talk with her. Heather Love is back on the program. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
Very well, very well. And this whole thing, the chakras, is this, my description, is this where the energy centers are in our body, like the major energy centers? Would that be a fair enough description?
Yes. So usually we go from the root chakra, then the sacral, and then, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. And so those are all the main ones. Now, some practices will have you go through a lot more, but I just focus on those main ones.
Okay, so I recently heard that there are more than seven. There's seven major. And then I've heard there could be hundreds or 100. Okay. But then I recently heard that you got the seven, which, pretty much many of us know about. But then I heard 12. Like, what are the other five? Like, or is those just, sub-centers? What would they be? Have you ever heard of them?
I haven't focused on those sub ones before. I just go with the normal ones that I use, which are,
that information not verified. So that's just what I heard, or somebody's understanding of it. And certainly everybody's on board. There are seven major chakras within our body. Should we go into each one of them and do a little explanation of what they do?
Sure. So like the root chakra, for example, is the base of the spine. And that's where your grounding comes in for, being rooted into the earth and, having this deep connection with the earth. The sacral would be next, and that's more of a very sensual area, and it's like where the waters are flowing through you. And it just has that wonderful liquid quality, if that makes sense.
Never heard that described that way before. Okay, and that one, that last chakra, is the
sacral.
The sacral. Okay,
yes.
Got it. Okay.
Then there is the solar plexus, which is kind of like if you put your hand right on your belly button. That's about where that would be, and that's kind of like a fiery little sun inside, and it's bright yellow, and that's where you can radiate your sun all around you and make it your aura, if that makes sense.
And where's that one located?
That's the
right in the belly button area.
Right at the belly area.
Okay.
And so that's your happy little sun in your belly.
Okay.
Yep. And then we have the heart chakra, and some people see it as pink or green sometimes, depending on how they're seeing it.
Gotcha. And so we're about almost halfway through of the seven. Before we even get to the end, are any more important than others, or they all play an important role?
Yes, they all have their own role, and it's just depending on what the person is going through at the time, and what might be in balance or out of balance, and what might need work on.
Okay. So which chakra is up next?
Okay, so we just did the heart. So
Yep.
the throat, major center of communication, and it's a great way to express creativity through that chakra. That's another one.
Can I share something personal related to that?
Oh, absolutely.
And this is my interpretation of it, but I think it goes back to the throat chakra. So my mom had skin cancer, and it was located near her throat, and in other areas. And she didn't have a history of it; just kind of popped up. Um, there was also some things family related that I feel that she never got to voice, i.e., throat chakra. So I just think it's so interesting that it wound up near her throat. Why am I telling you this story? Fast forward uh, 9 years, which would have been February of this year, I developed skin cancer. I've been dealing with it for a long time, years. Not a big deal, lower level. This was medium level. Um, Guess where it was?
Your throat.
And I believe there are certain things that I have not communicated or let go of in terms of same type of family situation. I don't feel it's any coincidence that it could have been anywhere. Why? It's not like, you're prone to get that on your throat. No, not, it could be anywhere. I just think it's too much of a, maybe, I don't believe there are coincidences, but call it whatever you want, that she had it, I had it, same type. And, cherry on top of the story, they told me it was stage 3. They made a mistake. The person that figured out what was going on was her doctor, who recently became available in my health system. So I used him. He was wonderful. All done. Easy peasy. Had some surgery. Done. What are your thoughts with that information? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Now, see, with the throat chakra, you're expressing your voice, your creativity, all of that. And so, if it's stuck, you're you're blocking that. You're blocking all of that wonderful creative expression of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I've noticed, in myself, like my throat chakra is my main chakra, and
Oh.
that is the one that because I have at times, because of abuse in my past, um, I've I've worked all through that for many, many years. And yeah, so it's just amazing how things are like so coincidental with like your throat with your mom. And I've had that creative expression blocked for me because of abuse. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a challenging thing, but I've worked and overcome those things, and I've helped other people to do that as well.
Mm. And thank you for saying that. And my example, it doesn't have any really thing to do with cancer. It's just it manifested in the same area. Just
Exactly.
and yeah, this family situations that I know that she would have loved to have said things. She since passed, not from that, just natural causes. And in the same family situation, same exact thing. We both never really got to really verbalize, what went down in a particular situation. You said your throat chakra is your main chakra.
My main chakra. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
uh yeah, very personal for me because of, what I had been through in my past. And yeah, so that's my voice, and that's my expression. That's the way I express myself outwards,
Hmm.
in- into the field of creativity and so forth.
I've
Yeah.
never heard that said before. Um, that we have a main chakra. Is that inherent in all of us? One of our chakras is, I don't want to say more important, but more impactful, needs more attention.
I do find that that happens quite often, and you know, um, when I'm doing a Reiki session and I'm feeling with my hands, I'll feel what chakra is most open or prominent, I should say.
Hmm.
And yeah, so that tells me where to go um, with the session.
Gotcha. Okay. So let's pick up. We left off at the throat chakra
Um,
or the heart,
yep.
and
Yep. So we moved up to the throat, and then the third eye. That's your um, okay. It's where the two eyes and the middle of the forehead meet. So it's kind of like a triangle thing
Mhm.
because you have your eyes and you're trying. The oh. the
Like it would, I guess, if you were at the eye line, it would be just above, maybe around the eyebrows, maybe something in
it's
that
right in the
territory.
middle between the brow and
Okay.
the so you're right there. Yeah, right in the top.
And what's that one do?
Okay, so that one is the third eye. So it's um, oh, how do you express that one? It's like all seeing, your sight, your intuitiveness, um, and that just encompasses your eyes and that kind of triangle.
Hmm. Is that the way that we see the future?
It can be for some people, yes.
Hmm. Somebody, I had Reiki before we met long ago, and they told me that my third eye was very much mucked up. Like there was just needed to be cleared out. They were able to do it to a certain point, and they said, however, I make up for it by my other chakras or ability to spot things or that somebody's not telling the truth, things like that.
Mm.
I wish third eye was more prevalent in me. I like to kind of foresee, call it the future, or just have a feel for it. What's the difference? Now I'm going in a rabbit hole right here, but what's the difference between the third eye and being able to maybe kind of feel the future to some degree and your intuition? Is there a direct connection? What's your feel on that? I've always wondered.
Yeah, I think so. So I think that you know, having that chakra open and balanced, that's a great thing because you're just um, uh, I don't know. I get tongue twisted sometimes, but yeah, you just have that ability to see and to intuit things that are happening, and like you had mentioned for yourself, um, and yeah, so it's great when you know that it's coming from here. It's coming through you, in and out both ways.
Hmm. It's in my journey in the last number of years, I always knew that we all have intuition of some degree, but I found myself tuning into the intuition like more than ever, like fine tuning, like just thinking, feeling, what's this going to be like? Um, Seeing situations before I get to them. And actually, it's been really cool. Like,
Yeah.
even just testing it. What's that? Even before, if I'm going to go somewhere, let's say go to a party, what's the party going to be like? Who's going to be there? What are they going to be wearing? What's the vibe going to be like? Who might I be talking with? I see it before I get there. I'm not even kidding. Even a business meeting. What's that? How's that going to go down? I'm visualizing it, and I have to tell you, Heather, it's like maybe 80% accurate, at least.
Yeah.
It's a weird kind of thing, but it's kind of cool just to test it and see, if it turns out to be that way. So that leaves us with one chakra left, right?
So yes, we've gone up to the third eye, and then so the crown. So the crown is, the the top of your head. It's the very top, and it's like that's where all of the chakras will you go from the root all the way up, and then that's the expression upwards and outwards into the heavens.
Is that where it starts? I've always often heard people say, visualize the light coming down and into you through your crown.
Yes. So, and a lot of times, what I've experienced is having the earth come up to about like the chest height, and then the light coming down, and then they meet at the heart.
I've never heard that said before. So when
Yeah.
you say the earth, would that be your root chakra?
Yeah, and if you have your feet on the earth, whether you're wearing shoes or not, it's good to wear, not to wear shoes sometimes, and be in the grass and the ground and the nature.
Hmm.
But yeah, so if you were to think of all of that wonderful earth energy that's under your feet, under our feet every day, all the time, and you're connecting to that earth energy and putting your roots down into the earth, like really imagining that they're going down to the core of the earth, and you're connecting into that. And then if you keep anchoring that, and then you bring up that earth energy, and then you move it upwards, and then you also bring the light downward. So the light is meeting in between the core of the earth and the highest high of the heavens. And when they meet in the middle, that's at your heart.
Why is the earth and grounding or being grounded so important?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. So I think it's important because, you know, you are connecting with Pachamama, the earth. And um, it's very grounding. It's anchoring you to our planet. Um, and yeah, so it's just this amazing quality that you can feel that vibrational energy coming through the earth.
I'm not saying this just because you're saying it, but I feel it. I believe it's incredibly important. I'm going to freely admit that there have been times where I've come home after a long day and touched a tree just to get grounded. And over the weekend, I'm in between houses, so I don't get to go in the dirt like I used to. I used to love, gardening, and I would, very meticulous. It was kind, it's almost therapy. Over the weekend, a group I'm part of, we did a community service project, and we helped an elderly family who was in a bad car accident clean up their yard. And I was like walking on air after it was done. Not just the feeling of, yeah, we helped somebody. It was also the just like, this is why, yeah, I got in dirt. I got to be in dirt. I know it sounds ridiculous, but even just touching trees, just all of that. There's something there. I know this is woo. I get it, but don't knock it until you try it. If you're feeling like out of sorts or whatever, touch a tree, hug a tree. They go into the ground. That's where the grounding takes place. You don't know it
Absolutely.
until you. Yeah, there's definitely. Why do people? I'm going back into nature. People taking hikes and things like that. Why? So they can be connected to the earth.
Yeah.
It has healing properties. I guess that's where I'm going with that.
Yes. Taking a walk in nature, it's very therapeutic.
Absolutely. Yeah, it does. It does something for you. And why do people come back saying, "Yeah, I got a breath of fresh air. I feel so much better." Okay, you were outside. Okay, you got a little exercise. They can um, stimulate the production of chemicals in our brain that makes us feel better. But I don't. It's not just that. There's more going on there. Of being grounded. Thank you for breaking these all down. I don't think I've ever done that with the seven chakras. What's the best way for somebody to connect with you? Yeah, even if they have questions, maybe want to start the journey to maybe some coaching holistically, which is something else you offer. What's the best way to find you?
The best way to reach me is by phone or email. So my phone number is 443-375-6936. And my email is heatherlenorelove@gmail.com.
Is Love really your last name?
It is. I changed it legally.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
We
And
need more love in the world, right?
and we've got one more, and it's you. And you, I know you love what you do, and I just realized this. We're talking about trees. Isn't the name of your business, your practice, Treehouse Holistic Coaching?
Archer's Treehouse.
Archer,
Yeah.
yeah, Treehouse. And you know what? We're talking about trees. That is our house. Call it the house of grounding. Maybe that's
Yes.
it. Yeah, very cool. Thank you so much today for being here, Heather, and just giving us insight on all of this. So important. We don't realize it, how these energy centers, i.e. the chakras, can get clogged up. And with Reiki, you can clear them out and help us move forward. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.